Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Nectarine Bliss of RIbhu Gita, Chapter 15. RIbhu. Here again the supreme truth that confers liberation at once. This 15th chapter of RIbhu Gita, if you listen to it, contemplate on it and meditate on it with utmost sincerity and full devotion, it can lead to liberation, moksha, self-realization and enlightenment within minutes. Instant liberation is the promise of, says RIbhu, because this chapter contains the essence of and its crowning glory of Advaita sadhana, the spiritual practices for realization of non-dual self. In this chapter, the entire gist of the Upanishads and Vedanta philosophy is contained. So listen to it carefully, reflect on it and meditate on this supreme divine transcendental wisdom given to us by, says RIbhu. Here again the supreme truth that confers liberation at once. All is ever Brahman. All is ever Brahman. Meditate on this. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma. All is ever Brahman. All is ever Brahman. All is peace. There is no doubt of this. This imperishable Brahman is all. There is no other nature of this. Saying this is a mistake, as is also saying we, because there is only Brahman alone. All are Brahman alone. Whatever in the list is remembrance, and whatever in the list is even meditation, is non-existent. Whatever in the list is of the nature of knowledge alone. All that is only Brahman. Brahman alone exists. Whatever in the list is spoken about Brahman, whatever in the list is the word of the Vedas, whatever in the list is the word of the Guru, all that is only Brahman. What little there is of evil or truth, what little there is of loving talk, what little there is of the existence of reflection, all that is only Brahman. What little there is of daily listening, what little of meditation is practiced, what little there is of certitude and sincerity, all that is only Brahman alone. Meditate on this, contemplate on this, and become absorbed in this supreme truth that all is Brahman alone. You too are Brahman alone. I am Brahman alone. What little there is of the teaching of the Guru, what little there is of thinking about the Guru, or what little there is of different yoga, all that is only Brahman alone. Renouncing all, renouncing the Guru, and renouncing everything ever, sit in silence and meditate on Brahman alone. Because there is nothing other than the Brahman. You are Brahman, I am Brahman. The entire universe is Brahman alone. Contemplate on this, meditate on this, and get completely absorbed in the bliss of the Brahman, the nectarine bliss of the Brahman. Drink the nectarine bliss of the Brahman, enjoy the nectarine bliss of Atmananda, Brahmananda. Because there is nothing other than the Brahman and the Brahmananda, the Atman and Atmananda. The Atmananda, the bliss of the self, and Brahmananda, the bliss of the Brahman, is ever available to you in your true self. Enjoy that bliss. Drink the nectarine bliss of the self, nectarine bliss of Brahmananda, the bliss of the Brahman. Drink that supreme, pure, infinite nectar, that ambrosia of the Brahmananda alone is going to satisfy all our hunger and thirst for the millennium and the millennia you have been seeking and hankering after. Renouncing all is happiness forever. Renouncing all is the great joy. Renouncing all is the supreme bliss. Renouncing all is the supreme happiness. Because all that is subject of sensual perception and sensory cognition is illusory, dreamlike, imaginary. That's why you don't have to renounce the truth. You don't have to renounce the wisdom. Whatever you see, perceive, and you have identified with, it's all illusory. The network of relationships, the entire phenomenal universe of names, forms, and attributes, that is what you consider as all an existence. And this all appearances, the world of appearances, is false, illusory appearance. Therefore, renunciation, the highest renunciation, is the renunciation of the ignorance, the renunciation of the illusion that you are this body. There is this phenomenal universe. Renunciation is not essentially the renunciation of nectarine bliss of the Atmananda, the bliss of the Brahmananda. You enjoy it, and only when you renounce this false, illusory, phenomenal universe, your obsession with the false, your preoccupation with the illusory world is the root cause of your sorrows, sufferings, and living a miserable life. Therefore, disidentify with the phenomenal, illusory world of appearances and re-identify with the self, the Atman, the Brahman and Brahmananda you are. That is invisible from the point of view of sensory perception, but that alone is. So, what is the highest renunciation? What does renunciation imply? Renunciation of ignorance, renunciation of ego, renunciation of darkness, renunciation of all sorrows and sufferings alone is called the highest renunciation, Nivritti Marg, in Vedanta philosophy. You don't have to renounce any possessions because all possessions are illusory. Dream-like possessions, the enjoyment and possessions in the dream are as good or as bad as their renunciation. Therefore, renunciation of the darkness, delusion, ignorance, that the world of the names, forms, and attributes is real, your body is real. That alone has to be renounced, and that leads to immediate self-realization, enlightenment at once. That is the promise of Rishi Ribhu in this chapter of RIbhu Gita. Renouncing all is renouncing the mind. Renouncing all is renouncing the mind. Renouncing all is renouncing the ego. Renouncing all is the great yoga. Renouncing all is the supreme happiness. Renouncing all is renouncing the mind. Renouncing all is renouncing the ego. Renouncing all is the great yoga. Renouncing all is the supreme bliss. Because only renunciation of the mind, ego, alone going to lead to the dawning of the supreme wisdom that you are Brahman, you are Atman, you are truth absolute. Therefore, when in Vedic culture renunciation or Nivritti Marg is pursued, its heart and soul is renunciation of the ignorance, renunciation of the ego, renunciation of the thoughts and mind, because mind alone has created this illusory appearance of the world of the names and forms. You are the essence and self of all worlds, all phenomenon universe is appearing in and upon you. Therefore, renunciation has to be that of mind alone. Mind alone is known as ego. Mind alone is known as thoughts. Mind alone is known as ignorance, insentience, and vasanas and desires and bondage. Other than the mind, there is no bondage in you. Other than in the mind, there is no birth and death in you. Other than the mind. and outside the mind and beyond the mind, there is neither birth in you, nor any death in you, nor any fear of disease or infection or affliction or death. All is because of the mind, the illusory appearance of the mind and mental modifications alone is a root of all sorrow, suffering and fear of death and disease. Therefore, renounce the root cause of all sorrows and sufferings. That root cause of sorrows, sufferings, ignorance, and birth and death is nothing but mind. Thoughts alone have created this illusory world. Transcend the mind, go beyond the mind, and you are ever the Brahman, the Atman, the Supreme Self, the eternal reality you are. You are infinite, inexhaustible mine of eternal bliss. You are infinite ocean of nectarine love. You are infinite space of everlasting beauty. All beauty emanates from you. All love is ever present within you. The infinite ocean of Brahman, the infinite ocean of Atmananda and Brahmananda is your own treasure trove. You have patent right over all love, bliss and beauty, and you are running and hankering after the illusions and illusory appearances of love, bliss, beauty, pleasure and joy. Don't be so foolish. Don't be so foolish. Dear Divine Selves, realize your true nature. You are Brahman. You are Atman. Because there is nothing ever in existence other than the Brahman. Sarvam khalvi Brahmaivahamasmi. Brahmaivahasmasmi. Soham. All is nothing but Brahman alone. I am Brahman alone. I am that reality. I am that absolute truth. I am all in all. All love, bliss and beauty is intrinsic, inherent and natural to my self, S capital, self within me. The self of the nature of pure consciousness alone is the repository of all love, bliss, beauty, pleasure, joy and happiness. There is nowhere even a particle of love, bliss and beauty outside Atman, the Brahman. The pure consciousness alone is repository and infinite ocean of love, bliss and beauty. What you experience in the external world as sensory pleasure, sensual indulgence and all that is only a shadow of bliss, only shadow of love, only an image of beauty. The real beauty you alone are. The real love is ever present in your true nature. The self, the Atman alone is the real and solitary owner of all love, bliss and beauty. Think about this, reflect on this, meditate on this, and become that infinite ocean of love, bliss and beauty. The one who has infinite treasure trove of Love, bliss, and beauty is running helter-skelter, begging for a few drops of love, bliss, and beauty from the shadows, from the images, from the non-existent appearances. There is nothing outside you, there is no one outside you, because you are Atman, you are Brahman. Bhokta cha bhogyam swayameva sarvam. Bhokta cha bhogyam swayameva sarvam. Bhokta cha bhogyam swayameva sarvam. Preyasi cha priyatam swayameva sarvam. I alone am the supreme lover. I alone am the ultimate beloved. The lover I am, the beloved I am. There is no love, there is no bliss, there is no beauty anywhere else other than in the Atman, the Brahman of the nature of pure consciousness. That I am, that you are, that non-dual, indivisible, eternal and absolute Atman is source, substance and substratum of all. Everything, every enjoyment, every little glimpse of happiness is a shadow, a reflection of your Atmananda, your Brahmananda. The bliss of the Atman, the bliss of the Brahman, that is ever present, inherent and intrinsic to yourself, the Atman. Look within. The entire phenomenal universe and infinity of universes are hidden within you. There is nothing outside you. You alone are within and without. In your true nature, neither there is any internal nor external, neither posterior nor exterior. You are all in all. You are beyond the realm of time and space. Time and space and the sense of time and space is an illusion caused by the mind-body consciousness. You are neither mind nor body. Transcend this realm of mind and body, and you are always Brahmananda, Atmananda, Paramananda, the bliss supreme, the bliss of the Brahman, the bliss of the Atman you are. Meditate on this, dear divine selves. You are always divine, howsoever wicked or sinful you may appear, how many of the ghastly crimes or ignoble acts you might have done, but this all was done by not by you, but the ego, the illusory body-mind consciousness, ego-based personality alone is really behind all actions and enjoyments. You are beyond action and enjoyment because you are ever fulfilled, ever wholesome reality. You are infinite perfect. You are infinite perfect. You lack nothing, you need nothing, you desire nothing in your true nature because you are Atman, you are Brahman. All right and wrong, sense of sin or virtue, vice or virtue, righteousness or sinful acts are only in ignorance caused by mind and mental modifications. Turn back your entire focus of attention within and dissolve into the pure consciousness, the knower and seer, the absolute knower and seer within you, that is of the nature of space of consciousness, space infinite, that Chidakash is your true nature, that Chidakash you are beyond name, form and attributes, that Chidakash you are, that is infinitely blissful, that is infinitely beautiful, that is perfectly blissful. Drink the nectar of self, drink the nectarine bliss of Brahmananda, drink the ambrosia of Atmananda. Only and only by drinking this nectar you are going to be fulfilled, fully satisfied. Your hunger and thirst for sensual pleasure, your hunger and thirst for pleasure in the external objects, images and appearances, that thirst is real, but the objects you think and consider that you are going to get love from, beauty from or bliss from, that is wrong, that is caused by illusion. The hunger is real because love, bliss and beauty alone are intrinsic to your nature. This entire universe and every single word, thought and action of yours and all living beings is directed towards nothing but seeking a fraction of love, bliss and beauty, ordinary called happiness or sensual pleasure, and you never get satisfied because once you are hungry for food, the beautiful video or the beautiful painting or photographs of sumptuous meals and delicious and tasty foods is not going to satisfy your hunger. You need real food. As you are thirsty, and the pictures and paintings, images and videos of pure pristine water are never going to quench your thirst. Even so, your desire for love, bliss and beauty is real. Your thirst is real because that is what you are, that is natural to you, that is intrinsic to you. Tell the fire that you become free from fire. Tell the water that, oh water, you become free from liquidity and flow. Tell the air that, oh air, you become free from movement. Is it possible? No. Fire means, and heat and light are intrinsic to fire. Heat and light are intrinsic to sun. Liquidity is intrinsic and inherent to water. Even so, the Atman, the Brahman, your real self, is intrinsically embodiment of beauty, bliss and love. That is the Anandamurti, Premamurti, Saundaryamurti. Therefore, love, bliss and beauty are inherent, intrinsic and natural to you, but you have fallen from, strayed off your true nature. You are not abiding your true nature. You have identified with the paintings, photographs, images of the food or water. Therefore, you are ever hungry. One of the sensual pleasures you enjoy, no more you manage to enjoy and have a sense of some pleasure, deriving some pleasure through sensual indulgence, the more hungry you feel for another object of enjoyment, another person to be enjoyed, the company of the lover or beloved or friend, whosoever. No more you get a fraction of that glimpse of illusory love, bliss and beauty. The next moment it dissipates and disappears. You have another set of desires for another set of objects for sensual pleasure. sensual beauty, sensual love, because they are all paintings, they are all images, they are appearances, they are not real. Like mirage in the desert, the entire water appearing to be available, an entire body of water in the desert during the summer months. The entire water, repeat, listen carefully, the entire water appearing in a mirage in the desert is not capable of even wetting a single grain of sand. Not even a single grain of sand can be made wet by the entire body of water appearing in the mirage. Even so, the entire love, bliss, the objects of love, bliss, and beauty in the phenomenal universe are waters of the mirage. Appearances, they are by themselves not source, substance, substratum, seat and center of love, bliss and beauty. You are. You are the source, substance, substratum and seat and center of all love, bliss and beauty. You of the nature of Atman. You of the nature of the Brahman. The Brahman and Atman of the nature of pure consciousness. The infinity space of pure consciousness alone is the Vaikuntha Dham, the supreme abode, the blissful abode. Realize that blissful abode and abide in that blissful abode. That is called symbolically a Kshir Sagar, when Lord Vishnu is enjoying the nectarine bliss of that Kshir Sagar. That is ever available. The Kshir Sagar is ever available to you. That Amrit Sagar is ever present within you, in yourself. The seer and knower of all the Atman is repository of all loveliness and beauty, all Kshir Sagar. Abide in the self. Abide in the self and enjoy the nectarine bliss of Brahmananda, Atmananda, and satisfy all your hunger for pleasure, satisfy all your desire for love, bliss and beauty, because you are there in the self, embodiment of all love, bliss and beauty. The self of the nature of pure consciousness, embodiment of absolute unconditioned love, everlasting infinite beauty and bliss and happiness, absolute, not conditioned by any external factor. This is inherent, intrinsic and natural to you. Therefore, the only thing you need to do to become supremely blissful, peaceful and ever satisfied, turn your attention of focus towards yourself. At the center of your own existence lies the infinite ocean of love, bliss and beauty. There is Brahman ever present. The Shiva is present ever within you. You are verily Shiva. You are the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme Self. Paramatman you are, Divyatman you are, Chidatman you are. You are the self of the nature of pure consciousness. Blissful consciousness is your nature. Consciousness is always blissful. All sorrow, suffering and lack of bliss is in the inert, gross, unreal, imaginary appearance and forms as body, the senses and the sense objects. Beyond them and outside them, there is bliss alone, absolute, unconditioned, uncaused love, bliss, and beauty is ever available. How tragic it is! The one who is the emperor of emperors, who is in possession of infinite reservoir, infinite ocean of love, bliss, and beauty, is begging for few shadows, illusory appearances of love, bliss, and beauty in the sensual pleasure, in the external world, in the objects of the phenomenal world which never existed, nor is it existing. The existence of the phenomenal world, the external lover and beloved, is just like a lover and beloved seen or enjoyed in the dream. This entire world is nothing but a dream. Shuddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi sansara maya parivarjitosi sansara swapnam tajamoha nidra Masangadosha tatsat swarupe Masangadosha tatsat swarupe. O Divine Self, awaken from the deep-held slumber of this phenomenal universe. This so-called awakening state is nothing but a deep slumber. Awake to your true nature, awake to your reality, awake to your divinity, awake to your Atman, awake to your Brahman, awake to Atmananda, awake to Brahmananda, ever present. Brahmananda is your true nature. Ever available Atmananda, the bliss of the Atman, is your true nature. Just abide in the self, not in the world of mind. The illusory, imaginary world of mind is the beginningless ignorance, anadi avidya, responsible for all sorrows and sufferings and fears. You are currently in the grip of global corona pandemic. It's all because of your ignorance about your true nature. In you, the real, the Atman, there is neither any disease nor infection nor sickness, any want, decay, destruction. All these are imaginary because the Atman is taintless, Niranjana, Doshamukta, beyond all taints and decay. You are. Realize your true nature. Renouncing all is a great liberation. Renouncing all means the world of illusion and ignorance, and every single object of name and form you see around you in the phenomenal universe is just like the water of the mirage. I just told you that the entire body of water appearing to be there in the desert, in the mirage, is not able to wet even a single grain of sand. Even so, the entire love, bliss, and beauty you get in the external world, the sensual pleasure, is not going to satisfy your hunger, your thirst for absolute bliss, absolute unconditional love, the everlasting and eternal beauty that you are seeking, because within you, within the Atman, within the Brahman that you are seeking essentially what is your own intrinsic nature. The Atmananda, the Brahmananda alone you are seeking, and the objects and beings and the love, bliss, and beauty that you appear to enjoy for a moment, for a fraction of a second. These are all dreams, they are all illusory, they have no existence of them. Even those sensual pleasures, momentary happiness you derive from sensual indulgences are all rooted in the self. Even those experiences are all contingent upon, based on your vast spacious awareness. There is nothing, no experience, no enjoyment ever possible outside consciousness, outside awareness, because there nothing exists outside consciousness. Everything, the world you know, the world you perceive, the world you are experiencing, and the world outside, you alone pervade, you alone illumine. You are the light that illumines the entire universe. You are the light of the sun, you are the light of the moon, you alone are the light of galaxy and stars. There is no light of galaxies, stars, sun and moon outside you. The sun is within you, the moon is within you, the entire galaxy is within you, entire range of remotely appearing light of stars is within you, within the space of consciousness. Or your only problem and ignorance is that you have wrongly identified with this finite, ephemeral, mortal body. You are not the body. Transcend right now. Transcend your barrier, artificial, illusory barrier of body. You are beyond. You are all pervasive. You are permeating and pervading all stars, galaxies, moon, sun, and every single object appearing anywhere in the universe. You are the light of the light, because you are Atman, you are Brahman in reality, right now, right here, not in the next moment. This truth can dawn upon you if you have a sincere desire, if you understand and you take a resolve of renouncing the illusory, the Vedic culture, that is the marg of that Nivritti marg. The renunciation is only the renunciation of the unreal, false and illusory, in order for realizing, being and abiding in the real, the eternal, the unconditioned. What is that real, unconditioned, eternal? It's Atman. This is Brahman. This alone is Brahmananda. This alone is Atmananda. Therefore, when this Sacchidananda became a sannyasi, even before he became a sannyasi, he was pretty sure that he is not essentially going to renounce anything. He is going to renounce the illusory identity of body, the illusory pleasure of the senses, the illusory world, and then go and abide in the Brahmananda, the Atmananda, the real self of mine. I am eternal existence. I am of the nature of pure light of consciousness, blissful consciousness, and I am embodiment of all bliss. That attainment is my supreme objective. That attainment is called moksha. That attainment alone is called liberation. That realization alone is called self-realization or enlightenment. Because unless and until you realize your true nature, there is no cessation. There is no permanent cessation of the chain of sorrows and sufferings that you are ever afflicted by unending chain of thoughts. At the moment, the entire humanity has been frightened and spooked and in the grip of corona pandemic, the fear of impending disease, infection and death. You are so frightened. You are so frightened. All this fear is because of ignorance. Because you have identified yourself with the body, senses and the mind. You are not the body. You are beyond the body. You are the light of the body. You are not the mind and thoughts. You are essence of mind and the thoughts. You are the light of thoughts. You are one indivisible light of pure consciousness. That is Shiva. That is Brahman. That is Paramatman. That Supreme Self you are. Realize your true nature and become free from all sorrow and sufferings. The permanent and eternal cessation of sorrow and sufferings happens only after self-realization, and the permanent attainment of peace, supreme peace and ultimate bliss that is never broken. The eternal love, bliss and beauty is attained only by realizing your true nature. The self-realization, the moksha alone brings forth the infinite ocean of love, bliss and beauty. That's why those who are seeking self-realization, those who have renounced the so-called relatives, wives, sons, friends, husbands, parents or network of friends or the worldly possession, essentially they have not renounced anything. They are the true seekers of the real beauty, real love, real bliss. That is what is called sannyasa, especially the Paramahansa sannyasa marg. That the path of the Jnana Marga, Upanishads and Vedanta, every single verse of every single Upanishadic text teaches you. This very much is the essence of entire Vedantic literature, the supreme sacred metaphysics. The Vedanta and Upanishad are the crowning glory of Vedanta, crowning glory of Vedas. That is what called Vedanta, the end of the Vedas. The end objective of Veda is discovery of that eternal lover, this immortal supreme beloved within yourself, as Maharishi Yajnavalkya says and terms this in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. The supreme beloved, Param Premaspad, is only one, that is Atman, that is Brahman. Unless and until you know that Param Premaspad, the supreme object of love, the ultimate lover and eternal beloved of yours is Atman only. Know that Atman, and knowing that Atman means being that Atman. Being that Atman means abiding in that Atman, ever abidance in the self. That state is called liberation, moksha and enlightenment. In that state alone, you become free from all sorrows, sufferings. The permanent cessation of sorrow and sufferings happens there only, and natural attainment of that inexhaustible mine of love, bliss and beauty, infinite ocean of love, bliss and beauty, the endless space of love and beauty. You always wear that, you always be that. The only problem is that you are not aware about that. The greatest difference, the only difference between the most enlightened person and the most crooked or sinner or ignorant person is this only: the knowledge of the self and ignorance of the self. There is no other difference. The most suffering, sad, sorrowful personality and the most blissful, resplendent, cheerful, dancing person or entity, if you may call the gods, is this much only, and this alone is the secret of all, that the one who knows her true nature is ever joyful, ever blissful. The bliss beauty and love is the sole property of Brahman, the Atman. The rest of world or appearing universe is dead body, corpse, Shava. The Shiva is reality. This universe is Shava, the dead body. You are seeking pleasure, love and beauty from the dead body. The entire effort of yours to seek love, pleasure, beauty, glamour, glory and enjoyment, honor and respect from the dead body. It's literally and figuratively the body identity of yours, the mind and ego-based identity of yours, and the world outside is nothing but dead, dead, dead. Dead body, show. Remove the pure consciousness, the Shiva element, remove the Atman element, and it's all dead. That is what you call death. Therefore, this body is always dead. This entire universe is always dead. What has animated this body, mind, and the phenomenal universe is the Atman, the Brahman, and you have superimposed due to your ignorance and illusion that no, this body is blissful, this world is blissful. Never, 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 even for a nanosecond of time, this body can be source of any love, bliss and beauty, because the body, the senses, the mind, thoughts, intellect and the world around are inert, dead, dead, dead. They are animated by the power, the light of blissful consciousness, that is Atman. That illusion and ignorance is called Chid Granthi, Chid Jad Granthi. Break free from that and you are enlightened right now. Separate the body from the light of the body. Separate the mind and mental thoughts from the illuminator, the essence of that light, that is Atman. Once you do that, you realize that how stupid I was, how ignorant I was. I am the sole repository of all love, bliss and beauty. All glamour, glory belong to me and me alone. I am Ishvara, I am Parameshvara, I am Brahman, I am Paramatman. And I was living and behaving and acting and enjoying like a beggar. Your beggarship is because of nothing but your ignorance about your true nature. It is just like a great emperor being told and being convinced that he is a beggar or she is a beggar. Break free from that illusion that you are mortal, you can be infected by corona, pandemic or any virus. Break free from that illusion. You are beyond all because you are all in all. You are death of death. You are life of life because you are Atman. Meditate on this. Get absorbed in this. Drink the nectarine bliss of RIbhu Gita and become free right now, right here, free from all fears of disease, death, sorrow and suffering and want. You are beyond all desires, you are beyond want because you are a fulsome reality, you are a wholesome reality. You are the fullness of the peace and wholeness of the bliss. The wholeness of the bliss and fullness of the peace is ever present in your true nature, that is Atman, that is Brahman. Realize that to know your infinite glory. Meditate on this. Renouncing all is the great revelation. Renouncing thought is also the same. For thought is indeed ever the world, and thought indeed is ever transmigration. Thought indeed is the great delusion. Thought indeed is all that pertains to the body. Thought is the fear of the body. Thought alone is what pervades the mind. Thought indeed is known as the phenomenal world. Thought indeed is the pollution. Thought indeed is all insentience. Thought indeed is the senses and others. Thought indeed is ever the truth. Thought indeed is ever non-existent. Thought indeed is the great scripture. Thought indeed begets the mind. Thought indeed is ever seen. Thought alone is seen. Thought indeed is ever religion. Thought indeed is said to be all. All means the phenomenal universe. That world you think as real, it's nothing but projection of the mind. The mind alone has appeared as the phenomenal universe. Moon is a thought, sun is a thought, galaxies and the stars all are thought. The entire species of the animal kingdom and wildlife and all that is nothing but a thought. As in the case of a dream, in the night you are sleeping on your bed and in dream you see infinite ocean, you enjoy sea beaches, you are walking on the roads of malls or boulevards of New York, Washington, Tokyo, New Delhi, Mumbai. Where is Mumbai, Delhi, Washington and New York in the dream? Even so, in the so-called awakening state, you are in dream. The dream caused by the mind and mental modifications transcend the chain of compulsive thoughts. The compulsive chain of thoughts, if broken, if you go beyond the compulsive chain of thoughts, you realize that you are all in all. You are eternal existence, you are Brahman, you are Atman. That is the entire purpose of spiritual practices, meditation and samadhi. In samadhi alone, all the chain of thoughts dissolve and supreme wisdom dawns. Thought indeed is ever religion. Thought indeed is said to be always conquer thought itself. There is nothing to be conquered other than thoughts. The conquest over thoughts is the eternal victory. The victory over compulsive chain of thoughts is the absolute victory. The victory over mind alone is the supreme victory, because once you conquer over mind, conquer over thoughts, you realize that you are immortal, eternal, Brahman, Supreme Self, Paramatman you are. The true nature of yours as Brahman and Paramatman has been veiled by the thin layer of compulsive chain of thoughts. Break free right now. It's not a matter of faith or belief. Vedanta doesn't believe in anything. Vedanta is supreme metaphysics, the super science of self, the ultimate reality. It's based on empirical, intimate, direct realization of the intimate reality. The realization is always intimate, instant. It doesn't happen in the next moment, because that Brahman, that the Paramatman is ever present, but the cloud and shroud and thin veil of words and thoughts are ever taking you away from the seat and center of self that is within you. Therefore, there is no sadhana other than conquering the realm of thoughts. There is no spiritual practice. The entire purport, aim and objective of entire spiritual practices, sadhana of all variety, is this and this alone. You have to transcend the realm of the mind and thoughts. because mind alone is thoughts, thoughts alone are mind, and that alone is ignorance, that alone is ego-based identity. The moment you transcend the realm of world, you see for yourself, you experience for yourself the Brahmananda, the Atmananda. That is the science that none of the teachers will tell you, the so-called great gurus, five-star gurus. This is the science why when you meditate through any of the practices, for some time you feel relaxed, you feel in love, you feel a sense of beauty, serenity, calmness, coolness, peaceful, simply because in all sorts of meditation, what do? You calm your mind, you try to still the chain of thoughts, and in the stillness of your thoughts and mind, there is nothing and nothing but the Atman and Brahman. That is what is the purport of Jesus Christ when he says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I am God. This entire Vedantic instruction and the instruction at the moment I am basing my meditation on RIbhu Gita, it's all that. Stilling the mind is all objective. Once your mind is still, you are God right now, right here, not next moment. It is contingent upon nothing. You need no guru, you need no disciple, you need no shastra, provided you are able to still your mind. The guru is required to know the science and philosophy and art of stilling your mind. The scriptures are required for nothing but stilling your mind. If you know how to still your mind, the truth will burst forth. The Brahman and Brahmananda is ever resplendent, radiant in its fullest glory, in its sublime divine beauty. It's ever present reality within you and without you, because you alone exist everywhere. If there is a mind, that there is no mind. If there is mind, then there is no mind. The self only is manifested. The self, the pure consciousness alone is the essence of mind or no mind. If there is thought, that thought is present, the state of thinking is only yourself. Only oneself is said to be thought, oneself is Brahman, there is no doubt of this. Thought alone is said to be all, thought alone is regarded as all. That is what Ribhu is saying. For an ordinary person who is not versed in the basic tenets of Advaita Vedanta, the lines or the instructions of RIbhu Gita won't be easy to understand. That's why I'm trying to present in my own words the same truth in easy to understand, easy to imbibe. That's why I'm trying to. Sometimes I'm speaking for 10 minutes on a single verse so that you understand it, otherwise it is float above your head. Understanding even a single verse or a single instruction will deliver you, make you free. And that is my purpose. I am Brahman alone, the self-luminous. I am Brahman alone. Meditate on this, meditate on this. There is no doubt of this. All is Brahman. There is no doubt of this. All is only the light of consciousness. Chidananda, Prakashananda. All is light of consciousness and Brahman alone. Meditate on this. I am Brahman alone, the eternal self, ever fuller than the fullest. I am with earth and such. I am also without any distinguishing characteristics. The Brahman is a partless reality that is called Nishkal. That's what he is trying to suggest. It's a all-pervading, all-permeating reality, omnipresent reality, Brahman is and that Brahman you are, that Brahman I am, the one reality alone is appearing as multitude of worlds and multitude of beings caused by mental modifications, ego and ignorance. I am the interior of this subtle body. I myself am the ancient. I myself am the self that is measured. All is Brahman alone. I am fully of the nature of consciousness. This world is of the nature of complete consciousness. The space of consciousness is of the nature of consciousness. I am ever this consciousness space. Chidakasha. Chidakasha. I was explaining in detail the same thing. The infinite Chidakasha. I am infinite space of consciousness. I am. There is no limit to my reality. Infinitum, infinitum, infinitum. You yourself are the space of consciousness. I am ever the space of consciousness. The space of consciousness is alone this consciousness. There is nothing apart from consciousness space. Reflect on this line. There is nothing apart from this space of consciousness. The space of consciousness alone is Atman, the self, the Brahman, the supreme reality. And the Brahmananda and Atmananda all are intrinsic, inherent and natural to this space of consciousness. Therefore, in Samadhi, you abide after contemplation and meditation on the lines. Abide in that space of consciousness. That abidance is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Jnana Samadhi, Sahaj Samadhi. Abidance in the space of consciousness is the Turiya and Turiyatita. The abidance, unbroken abidance in the space of consciousness alone is called Moksha, liberation, enlightenment, the supreme glory. Just abide in the self of the nature of infinite space. All is pervaded by the space of consciousness. Consciousness space is the illuminator. The nature of the mind is consciousness space. Consciousness space alone is the mass of consciousness. That is why the space of consciousness in many traditions, basically in Buddhism, they call void. They call void. It is not that Buddha is negating the reality. It is problem with the followers, the ignorant, deluded, stupid followers. What Vedanta calls the Brahman, the fulsome reality, the same is referred to or named by Buddha, the enlightened one, as the void. Because, and he is true, because you, an ordinary, ignorant, deluded mind, must have a name or form or certain attributes for anything to have an existence. Anything which doesn't have name, form, or attribute for you is a void, is non-existence. That is what Buddha is saying, and you attribute it to Buddha, so you say that Buddha is saying there is nothing. It is not true. Buddha is saying exactly the same thing what Vedanta is saying. Jesus Christ is saying exactly the same thing what all the great exponents of metaphysics and spiritual philosophy are saying. They are one and the same, but due to our ignorance, we perceive it in a twisted way because of our twisted mind and intellect. Lao Tse in Tao Te Ching is saying exactly the same thing as what Jesus is saying, what Adi Shankara is saying, what Upanishads are saying, what Vedanta is saying, what Buddha are saying. That is space, infinity space of consciousness, that is called by Jesus Christ as Kingdom of God. That is called by Vedanta as Swaraj Samraj, the empire of this self. That is called by Buddha as infinite void. The words, that is why it is called that the supreme truth is inexplicable. Because that supreme truth is beyond words, beyond mind and beyond intellect. So it depends upon the one who has realized the reality as it is, depending on his time, climb and position. He speaks in her own way. That is why Vedas say, Ekam sadavipra bahudha vadanti. The supreme truth is one and one alone, but the realized ones, the wise ones, explain it, state it variously, differently. The truth is one, it is spoken of variously because of time and space, contingencies and conditionality and limitations. The truth is one, the same truth is sought to be explained by all the metaphysics in a different way, by and large. The self alone is the ever full self. I am the self alone, there is no doubt of this. The self indeed is you. I also am the self. All indeed is only self alone. All is Atman alone. Meditate on this. I am eternal. I am eternally full. Listen the line carefully. I am eternally full. You get some wealth, you get some object of love, bliss and beauty. For the moment you feel you are full, but the next moment you become beggar, pauper, deprived. But in yourself, in the Brahmanhood, your Atmanhood, you realize that I am eternally full. I was explaining in detail in my commentary earlier. That is what I was saying. Infinite space of consciousness, inexhaustible mine of love, bliss and beauty, infinite ocean of bliss and beauty. That is what he is indicating by this. Ribhu says, Ribhu, I am eternally full. This is the meaning of this. If you don't know Vedanta, you won't understand. It doesn't sink. You won't imbibe unless and until it sinks deep within you. You won't be able to drink the nectar of yourself. The Brahmananda. I am drinking, I am enjoying, I am saturated with the bliss of Brahmananda. I am overflowing with the bliss of Atmananda. So I want to partake. I want everyone to enjoy that bliss because that alone gives you the eternal joy, the unbroken, unconditional love you are. There is no love outside you. In the infinite space of consciousness alone, all love is available. Go deep within, and there your supreme beloved, eternal lover is ever present. That is Param Premaspada of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. I am eternally full. I am eternal always and forever. I am the self alone. The world is not something different. The self is immortal and ancient. When he is saying the world is not different, he means that entire phenomenal universe is an appearance and imagination within myself, as in the case of a mirror. When you stand before the mirror, your full picture reflects on the mirror. It appears that, the space that is covered by your image or appearance appears to be non-mirror, but even so, there is nothing other than the mirror. Within the image and outside the image, the reality is mirror alone. Even so, within you and without you, as the entire phenomenal universe appears, there is nothing and no one other than you. The mirror of pure consciousness alone exists everywhere, every moment, in every case. So the entire universe, phenomenal universe, is my own reflection, my own pratibimb, my shadow. That is what is called Maya and Chaya. I am ancient, I am Purusha. Purusha means the consciousness principle. Purusha and Prakriti in Sankhya philosophy, the two elements. The consciousness principle is that self, the Brahman, what is called, and the inert, the five basic elements of the nature. This body is made of the Purusha and Prakriti. The Prakriti, the gross object of name, forms, and this entire universe made of these five elements. That is Prakriti, but that is ever illumined and animated by none other than the Param Purusha, and that Param Purusha you are, the supremely blissful conscious Purusha you are. That alone is the seat, center, source, substance, and substratum of all love, bliss, and beauty. All life, all glory, all glamour emanate from that, exist in that, and dissolve back in that. Meditate on this. I am bliss, I am endless, I am immortal, there is no doubt of this. I am unborn, I am of the nature of the self and nothing else. I am always full of love. Listen this line. Sink, let it sink in every single pore of your body, every single cell of your body, who is always ever hungry for love. Realize it, contemplate and meditate on this, and get absorbed in this infinite ocean of love. He says, I am always full of love, full of love. Never ever I am lacking love. Always oversaturated with love. I am overflowing with love, because I am Atmananda, Brahmananda. I am embodiment of love. I am embodiment of beauty. I am embodiment of all joy, bliss. I alone am. None else has any existence other than me. Therefore, I am eternal love. I am only Brahman. This is Brahman. All is Brahman, the ever changeless. Listen it carefully. Again, this line, very important. I am only Brahman. This is Brahman. This means the entire phenomenal universe, or the network of objects or beings or relatives you have. All this is nothing but Brahman. All is Brahman, the ever changeless Brahman alone. The one indivisible, non-dual Brahman alone appears as many. Abhibhaktam vibhakteshu tadgyanam vidhi satvikam, as Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Abhibhaktam vibhakteshu tadgyanam vidhi satvikam. The one who sees the one undivided, indivisible reality in the so-called appearances of the dual, divided, infinite multitude of worlds, that knowledge is called sattvic knowledge, the highest knowledge. That is called the knowledge arising out of self-realization. That is what in the RIbhu Gita 2 is being revealed. I am only Brahman, this is Brahman, all is Brahman, the ever changeless. There is never such a word as all is never there. What he meaning? The moment you use the word all, there is a sense of duality and multiplicity. What RIbhu is saying, there is no all means there is no world of duality, diversity, there is only one, and that is Brahman, one non-dual, indivisible reality of the nature of pure consciousness. infinity space of pure consciousness you are. The infinity space of pure consciousness is in all this world. An infinity state of pure consciousness alone is all the network of relatives, friends and foes you do have, to whom you are attached. There is nothing other than the Brahman. I am only that. I am also myself. I am also another. I alone appear as you. I am within you. You are within me. The you, the sense of duality of the object, is all projection of the mind. The objective phenomenal universe is hidden in myself, the subject. Mandukya Upanishad, the most profound and basic revelation there in Mandukya Upanishad, and its beautiful, brilliant commentary by Gaudapadacharya, which becomes the foundation of Advaita Vedanta, and the brilliant commentary of Jagadguru Adi Shankara. That is the most fundamental revelation, that all objective universe is hidden in the subject, within the subject. The objective world is not separate from the subject. The objective universe is not different from the subject. It is the projection, appearance out of the subject alone. That is why Vedanta, this Advaita Vedanta, the non-dual, because the Supreme Reality is one and indivisible. The same is said by Maharshi Vasishtha in Yoga Vasishtha to Crown Prince Rama. This is the greatest revelation of non-dual realization, that besides me, apart from me, there is no world, nothing exists. I alone, I of the nature of the self, the Atman, in upon which all the multiplicity of universes arise. The entire objective world is hidden within the subject. The same is said in the Yoga Vasishtha. Manodrishyam idam sarvam yat kinchit sacharacharam manaso unmani bhavat dvaitam naiva palabhyate. O Prince Rama, the entire world of multiplicity in the objective universe is a projection of the mind. In reality and beyond the mind, there is only one subject of the nature of pure consciousness, because, and he gives two examples, because in deep sleep, where is the objective world? And in the case of samadhi, which is the state of unmani bhavat, the state transcending the realm of mind is called unmani bhavat. In the state of no mind, there is no universe, there is no mind. There is no mind, and therefore there is no universe. Therefore it's logical, it's rational, it's so scientific to understand that if outside mind there is no world, therefore there is no world, but outside mind there is existence. I am there, I am Atman in Samadhi, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. I of the nature of pure consciousness, the Atman, the Brahman, ever exists. I drink the nectar of Brahmananda and Atmananda in Samadhi alone. The highest unbroken bliss is available, because the artificial mental modifications create artificial phenomenal world. These are all mental projections, like the dream and the dream world created during the dream in the night. That you must understand the most fundamental and basic tenet for non-dual realization, understanding and treading the path of Advaita Vedanta. You must understand that all these are not the words by just here. You must realize by experience. It must be self-realization is an empirical, intuitive, intimate reality, not a word. All is scriptures, all sacred Upanishads even and Veda are useless if just they remain limited to the words alone. They remain limited as just literature and books unless and until becomes a first-hand experience of your personal, intimate, immediate self-realization, unless and until you realize personally, intuitively that, oh, this Brahmananda, this Atmananda that I have read and heard of in the Upanishads and Vedanta, now I am enjoying. I can experience this bliss, this nectarine bliss of Atmananda, Brahmananda. Once this becomes an intimate, intuitive, personal experience, then it is a truth, or else speaking in eloquent language and words has very little meaning. In the beginning, for the instruction, the Guru or the knower of the Brahman would take the help of the words and the scriptures and Vedas and Upanishads, but the end objective is the attainment of the supreme silence, the attainment of the supreme self and Brahman, who and which is beyond words, who and which is beyond language, who and which is beyond all sensory perceptions, as in Upanishads. There the words can't go, the mind can't dare enter into the realm of the Atman. That realm of the Brahman, the realm of the Atman is beyond the mind. That is why it has to happen beyond the words within you. The words are preliminary. Even my instruction, my initiation is just to make you understand the basics, the initials of this, and then this truth has to be experimented for yourself. No amount of just watching YouTube videos or no amount of reading scriptures, it is very useful, there is no doubt about that. It is very important in the beginning, it is most important, but the ultimate glory will dawn once you take a deep dive within. Once you realize, first you need to understand the fundamental tenets. And once you know that, then you take a deep jump within, and that glory of the self and Brahman becomes manifest. An intimate, personal, immediate experience, not a matter of faith. Brahman in Vedanta is not a matter of faith. Brahman in Vedanta is not a matter of belief. Atmananda and Atman in the Vedanta philosophy is a matter of experience, direct, immediate, personal experience. No faith, no belief. Self-realization alone is the supreme glory. I am going to conclude in 5 minutes. I am consciousness eternally. I am the fourth state, that is Turiya, the state in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where there is no mind, the state of no mind. In the state of no mind or Samadhi, the truth is revealed, the self is revealed, the glory and grandeur and the light of the Brahmananda is revealed to you, unto yourself. I am besides the experience of the fourth state. Brahman alone is all. Brahman alone is all. I am ever Brahman. Meditate on this. Aham Brahma Param Dhamam Brahmaham Paramam Padam. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma Brahmaivasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. All is Brahman alone, and I am Brahman alone. Tattvam Asi, that thou art. You too are Brahman alone. You too are immortal, eternal Atman alone. And only Atman, the Brahman alone exists. apart from and outside Brahman and Atman. There is nothing that exists. There is no existence at all outside me, the Brahman, the Paramatman. There is nothing in the list apart from me. Listen to the lines of RIbhu Gita very carefully. The same thing as I was intuitively telling you. There is nothing in the list apart from me. There is no Brahman apart from me at any time. There is no Supreme apart from me. There is no word consciousness apart from me. For many years I have been telling this. I have not read it, but I intuitively realized that if the Brahman is not within me and if I am not Brahman, there is no Brahman. The Brahman is a joke. The Atman is a imagination. The Brahman is a Nanda is a dream. Listen carefully. If I am not Brahman, if you are not Brahman, the existence of Brahman is a gossip, is a notion, is a thought. But I said this only after realizing the depth through my own personal intuitive experience. Only then I declare that if I am not God, if I am not Brahman, there is no Brahman. The God is really dead, as the Nietzsche said. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said God is dead. He said in a different context, but I would also say the same thing. If the Brahman is not my nature and intrinsic to me, if you are not Brahman, then God is dead, the Brahman is dead, the Atman is dead. Because vast majority of the mankind from time immemorial have imagined and believed and still continue to be deluded in the imagination that Brahman, the Paramatman and God is an external reality, a strange, mysterious reality sitting above the sky somewhere near sun or moon or galaxies or stars. It's the utter stupidity. It is the ultimate nescience. It is the center of all ignorance. You are Brahman. The Brahman is most intimate reality of yours. The Atman is most intimate existence, reality and truth of mine. Right now, right here, never ever, even for a single nanosecond, you were anything but Brahman. I am anything but Brahman. The Brahman and Brahman alone exists. Nothing else exists apart from Brahman. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. There is no denotation as consciousness for me. Apart from me, there is no abode. There is no Brahman. Indeed, apart from me. Apart from me, there is no cause. Because I am source, substance and substratum of all. Apart from me, there is not the least atom. There is no Sattva Guna apart from me, nor is there any purity apart from me. Apart from me, there is nothing sanctified. Apart from me, there is no word as that. Nor is there any form of dharma apart from me, nor anything of all. Apart from me, there is only unreality here. Apart from me, there is only illusion and ignorance. All who manifest themselves apart from me and all that are apart from me are like the horns of a hare. Horns of a hare. That is illusion, false, untrue, unreal. Anything and everything that appears apart from me, outside me, is like horns of the hare. That is non-existent, illusory, false. Everything, everyone is me and me alone. The Brahman, the Shiva, the Paramatman alone. Nothing else, no one else. If anything manifests itself apart from me, it is illusion. All apart from me is magic. There is nothing uncertain apart from me. nor is there any cause and effect apart from me. All this is Brahman, I am He. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma Soham. The entire phenomenal universe is Brahman, and I am that Brahman. I am that Brahman. Contemplate on this, meditate on this, and become absorbed in the supreme reality, the supreme abode of yours, the supreme reality of yours. Abide there and there alone. That is the supreme glory, Param Purushartha, Moksha, Nirvana, and self-realization. All this is Brahman, I am He, should be the meditation. Meditate on this and this alone. All this has been said by the Lord. Be the certitude that this is so, this is so. The ultimate abode, I will conclude now by ultimate abode where you reside and abide forever, for eternity. That is what the mantra in Bhagavad Mahapuranam, at the end of instruction, Paramahansa Sukadeva instructs Parikshit, the grief-stricken Parikshit, King Parikshit, the grandson of great Mahabharat warrior Arjuna. And by the instruction of this mantra alone, he becomes liberated. He realizes that I am Brahman, and Brahmanhood is my eternal abode, the supreme abidance and the supreme residence. The rest is all illusory. I will chant that mantra for you to reflect and meditate and abide in that and drink the bliss of Brahmananda by meditating on that. The essence in English I have explained to you, that I am Brahman, and that supreme state of Brahmanhood, the supreme abode and abidance in the state of Brahmanhood is what I have attained, and that is my reality, that is my truth. Aham Brahma Param Dhamam Brahmaham Paramam Padam. Aham Brahma Param Dhamam Brahmaham Paramam Padam. You must have watched dozens and dozens and dozens of Bhagavad Purana Kathas, but you never listen this. They would never tell you, because it will strike at their vested interests. They will tell the story, but they won't tell the end objective of the story of Bhagavad Puran. They will just create song and dance and spectacle for your mental entertainment, and you too are interested in mental entertainment alone. It is not the Katha Vachaks of this Kali Yuga who are doing. You too are of the same variety. You enjoy just dance and song and spectacle. That's all. None of these Bhagavad Kathakars, storytellers, calling themselves sitting on the abode of Vyasa Gaddi, will tell you the supreme mantra, the supreme science and metaphysics which led to liberation of Parikshita, which made him free from, which made him realize the ultimate abode of Brahmanhood. This is the mantra. This is the ultimate truth. This is the ultimate secret. Repeat with me for a while and then get absorbed in samadhi. Aham Brahma Param Dhamam Brahmaham Paramam Padam. Aham Brahma Param Dhamam Brahmaham Paramam Padam. aham brahma param dhamam brahmaham paramam padam brahmaham paramam